Hey folks, Vince the Evil DM back with another episode of Railguns and Dragons, the Palladium series here on the channel. I almost said Palladium Fantasy, but it is switching between the different books in the Palladium Megaverse. Happy to say that I enjoy doing these classes. You seem to enjoy them out there as well. Some new features you've seen here on the channel this week as we recap a few things. I have a bunch of short videos that have come out. I try to release those at least once a week or twice. Has some interesting things in there prompting you to finish scenarios or how would you handle this, just enough to get some dialogue going between the community here on YouTube. That's the purpose, just to see what other people say and how they interact with one another. Lots of fun. Just look at my videos at the top, you'll see the shorts. I think they're easier to find on your phone in the YouTube app versus on a laptop or a PC or Mac, whatever. So check those out. Comment on those, they're lots of fun. I'm not sure if YouTube gives you a bell notification for those, but they do for these. And hopefully you are subscribed. Hopefully you have hit that bell notification, and hopefully you are enjoying these videos. So let's get right into this week's class, which is the Witch. So the Witch is, straight up description for a witch is a man or a woman who draws his or her power from and confers with the devils or demons. In the time of the heightened satanic panic going on with D&D and TSR and all the kids out there with the Parents Association, we had a class here in Palladium that basically detailed, somewhat to speak, everything that they were kind of worried about when it came to D&D. D&D did not cover things like this. While this is all generally pulled out of myth and various books over history, this, I can absolutely see in that Parental Association going right up the wall and being nuts over it. Now, I heard nothing about this. Doesn't mean something was said about this back in the 80s. This was 83, 84, 85, 86. Probably didn't come... Palladium Fantasy probably didn't get on the charts until the company got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and started becoming very, very popular. So it's hard to say. If you remember anything during that time and you're watching this video, please comment below and let me know about it. Obviously, I wasn't playing Palladium Fantasy during this time frame. I didn't play it until a little bit later, closer to the 90s, so it was when the panic was kind of dwindling down at that point. I'm not sure. I forget exactly when it started dwindling down. I know I had less of a problem once I got into the 90s and out of high school, so more people seem to not care anymore about D&D, or role-playing games for that matter. It was on a big decline. But anyway, the Witch. Let's dive into this. There really is only one requirement for this class, and it's one not to be taken lightly. You serve a larger purpose. You are Dark Lord, and you never question his judgment whatsoever. You are evil through and through, and if your Dark Lord says to slaughter your family, your friends, your local neighbor, you do it without question. Questioning results in, well, basically you're going to be slaughtered by the demon or devil that you are worshiping. But witches are born basically from all walks of life: vengeance, hate, whatever evil, maniacal reason you can think of. That's how this class is born. The only real requirement for the class is an IQ of 5. I guess it was put in place because you have to have some ability to be able to communicate and talk, so a 5. All the classes have some type of attribute requirement, which a lot of these games back then had. So I'm guessing to have a class that doesn't have one really didn't make sense, so it's a 5. And just about anybody can roll a 5 with luck of the numbers and draw, so it's not that hard. You also must be absolutely evil. So any of the evil alignments, boom, you're good to go. It can't be anything but evil. Can't multi-class or at all. Just can't multi-class, because that would suggest a dissatisfaction, and that is defiance. Defiance is bad. Remember, you have given your life and your soul, and, well, depending on the pact, because there's a couple pacts you have to take, but you're giving your life, so to speak, over to serving this Dark Lord. Now, pacts. There are a couple of them, so let's get to the next page here for you. Oh, it's right here. There are minor pacts. There's a few different levels of packs, so we'll start there first. And one can take this one, one can take one of the packs that they want when doing this class. Now, before diving into this, it does make a note that while you serve a Dark Lord, you could pretend to serve another deity for display reasons. So if you are worshiping a demon or a devil, you can proudly walk around doing that, or you can pretend to be a priest of some other god or goddess and walk around pretending to be part of their group just so you can walk around and, get along in society, because obviously witch equals bad. Witches, demon worshippers, devil worshippers are bad. This all comes from the mythology, lore of and fantasy. So, all right. So just like clergy, all your powers are granted from your deity. Well, in your case, it'd be your Dark Lord, and his word is law. The Dark Lord will ask your character to perform 3 acts during your lifetime of the pact, and it really depends on the pact that you pick and how the level of it, and you and the GM could sit down and write out what exactly it is. These pacts are not set in stone, and it even tells you at one point that the GM could modify it however he wants. Like he may impose some certain rites, prayers, black mass, fasting, sacrifices. It really would depend on the Dark Lord you are worshiping and what the GM decides. And there is basically, you could flip to the back of the book under the deity section and the demon section and pick any one of the Dark Lords you want, from demons to devils to Satan himself if you really want to as well. The object here is the higher the pact, the more power you get. So if you're going to play this class and dedicate yourself to a pact, you might as well just go the whole 10 yards. I'm sorry, the whole 9 yards is called. So, like I said, the GM is free to alter these things as he wishes, depending on the demon or devil that the character does pick. So, let's see here. The GM is free. Okay, there are 3 minor packs that give you certain abilities, much like a priest has it. So you can cast magical spells, much like a priest does. You follow a chart of progression, much like a priest does. And you can only learn spells that are granted by your master and nothing else. You can't learn circles, wards, symbols, not even scrolls. Everything comes through your master, and that's about it, or your master's minions, because sometimes your master can't be bothered to talk to you, because you're just a low-life person that is dedicating your life to him until you prove yourself. At second level, under the minor packs, you do get a lesser familiar, which is the same thing as a wizard's familiar link. So you get your own little pet, and your hand-to-hand combat as a thief as opposed to a non-man of arms. So you do get a little bit different attack matrix, and it's supposedly you're trained by the demon or devil himself, so I guess he imbues it in your head. I have no idea. I don't think they actually spend the time going, this is a sword, swoop, swoop, swoop. I don't know. Each spell obviously will be the same of that level of experience. You can look under the same wizard spells. It's the same thing. So the packs, and they're different minor packs. 50 years of loyal service is a minor pack. The demon or devil will grant this person the following abilities and powers, which are listed here. And you have to fulfill what's the guidelines and packs are. Some of them will ask you to pray to the master and obey all the rites and ceremonies. He may respond. Under these conditions, the master will ask the witch to betray. Under these conditions, if the master asks the witch to betray the group or kill a friend, the witch must do so with consequences. Like I said before, his word is law. If he tells you to do something, you're basically, sir, yes, sir, you're going to do it. The thing about the 50-year pact is when you get your abilities and everything that you get, it's not really worth it, because after 50 years, everything goes away. You lose everything. Sure, you get your life back. Sure, you get your body back and your free will back, but you basically get nothing. And the demon or the devil laughs at you and says, well, you should have maybe taken something a little bit better. Maybe you shouldn't have wasted my time with the 50-year pact. The firstborn, you remember these from mythology, don't you? Is basically either to bear a child or father a child or somehow give a child to them, impregnate someone in the name of, become impregnated by someone in the name of, things like that. And you're giving up this firstborn regardless where it comes from, to this master of yours to obtain your powers. And you basically get your powers once you do that. You also can be sworn to destroy a foe. This has to be a major foe of the demon or devil, and this will be revealed as your game goes on between you and the game master, and you really don't get too much for it. And don't forget, as you're growing in level, so is this person that is a major foe to the demon or devil, or a person in the campaign that the devil doesn't like. So as you grow, he grows. So it's not something that just oh, it's that little lonely baron here. It could be the king. It could be, someone powerful. Maybe another demon worshiper. Who knows? Now, the major packs is where it's at. This is where you get the good stuff. So let's see here. Let's scroll down here for you. Major packs, long life servitude. Basically, you are signing up for life to be serving this dark lord and dark master. You're selling your body and your soul. You're bound, and you must do a few things along the way when you're doing this. At one point, you have to establish a church in the name of your master, actively soliciting followers, bear or father a child. These may come up, it may not come up. Bear or father a child, or children in the name of the master, giving all rights to parentage to the master. Except any mate or concubine selected by the master. So you're basically in servitude, and whatever he says, that's your wife, your husband, whatever. Destroy a foe, avenge the master. Any additional service that is requested and demanded, including suicide, you have to do. You also get the Devil's Mark once you get this major pact you sign into. The Devil's Mark basically is a third nipple, which could be placed on your body anywhere you want, but it's preferred in the upper torso part of the body. And the purpose of this is it identifies you as a witch. It also identifies you as ownership by a devil or a demon. And it is also to feed your familiar, who suckles off this nipple and drinks small amounts of your blood at night or whenever. You get the ability to read magic at will. It's always on, so no matter what you're doing, you're basically have this greater ability to read magic. But you can't really read wards or circles, so you can count that out. You get a greater familiar instead of a lesser familiar. Your familiar is upgraded to now being a lesser demon or devil who possesses the shape of whatever familiar you want. Cat, bird, dog, whatever. On top of the normal stuff that you get for a familiar, you also get telepathic communication, so you can speak with your familiar telepathically. You can also speak out loud, just like anyone else. Your familiar can speak out loud in any language you'd like, but does not do without your permission first. The familiar will obey you and only you. This familiar can fly, turn invisible at will, and retain whatever lesser demon abilities it had before transforming into this new familiar for you. It does grant you an additional 20 HP to start, and should this familiar die, which is bad for you, you lose that 20 additional hit points you got, plus another 10 hit points. And then, in order to get back your familiar, you will need to prove yourself to your master or demon that you can be trustworthy to get another familiar, but then you will get a lesser familiar as opposed to a greater familiar until you can prove yourself worthy to hold on to some type of pet or animal. And the demon feels it's necessary to send someone out to keep an eye on you. Because basically, this familiar here, while it obeys you, does whatever you do, is basically your link to the master. It's going to be the person that keeps an eye on you, that spies on you, that will keep you in line, even though you think you're keeping him in line or her in line. You do have the ability 4 times a day to heal yourself. You roll 2d6 and heal wounds on yourself 4 times a day. Now, I wouldn't have an issue as a GM if we made this ability to not only do yourself, but other people to help your cover story if you're doing one of those things. Maybe you want to play that you're a part of some priest of some deity while you're hiding to be, part of this demon or devil or something. So you do have the ability to heal other people. I would have no problem with that. Maybe twice a day or something or whatever. But it's something to think about as a GM to allow. You have the ability to, at 5th level, to summon lesser demons or devils, 1d4 of them, to fight on behalf of the witch in the name of your master. You can attempt this once every 12 hours, but there's only a 50% chance that it will actually work. It also takes 5 minutes of meditation and uninterrupted prayer time to do this. Now, there's also something else you get here as well. So you get a special ability granted. You can choose one of the special abilities listed below. Command Dead, Command Rats, Invulnerability to Fire, Invulnerability to Poison, 10% bonus on all elective and secondary skills, or Telekinesis. I'm probably thinking most people are going to pick Command Dead or Telekinesis as probably the things that more people are going to pick. Though the invulnerability to fire or poison is kind of tempting along the way. Who knows? You can pick from pretty much a good list of weapon proficiencies under your electives for your witch character. You're not really restricted, so to speak, too much because it's pretty decent. And your armor is much like a wizard. The lighter the better, though you can use a heavier armor if you want more protection, but you do suffer the same consequences of using an armor you're not familiar with. Much like a wizard, and you get some negatives because it's hard to move in these and, gesture and things like that. The one thing that does make me laugh a lot about this class is the experience chart right down here. Everything ends in 666. They set it up that way. So 1,666, and then boom, 6667 is when you go over to the next level of this class. So they set it up so once you hit the 666 mark, you're going to start powering up to the next level. I just thought it was kind of cute that they did that. Little homage to the whole 666 thing. But you can pick 5 elective skills at level 1, 3 at level 3, and 3 at level 8, and 3 at level 12. 6 secondary skills at level 1, 4 at level 4, and 4 at level 10. So this class is probably one that most people won't play in their campaigns unless they allow evil characters during the game, which may interfere with the party in general, especially if you're doing a heroes campaign, though it could work if the evil character is with the party trying to bring the party to do something on the master's behalf. Retain something. They could pretend to be good, trying to retain some type of magical item. Little does the party know it's going towards evil. I could see that easily happening, and an evil person right away pretending to be good just for an evil purpose. So there's ways to get around the whole evil versus good in a party with certain things put in place by the GM. While I don't really like to say no to people when they want to play character classes, sometimes you do have to say no, but there are ways around the no, and sitting down with your player discussing this class, the alignment, the race, and everything that is involved, I think it could work with a party. It's just a matter of coming to an agreement together. So, I don't know. Tell me what you think about the witch class. Have you played the witch class? Do you think the witch class is too powerful compared to the other classes? I don't think it's any more powerful, but I think it's pretty neat. I don't know how it got past all the parental censors back then, but I like it. I like the class a lot, and it's probably one that I would definitely play just to have a different experience in the game. All right, so tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe to the videos. Don't forget about our live stream coming up this week. And keep it original, keep it old school, and good night, everybody.